Hello, Steve Mills here, and welcome back to my podcast. It's great to be back again and sharing with you some thoughts that I've got and ways in which you can grow your business. Today, I was just looking at a book. I actually purchased it a little while ago now. It's called Sexy Little Numbers. And firstly, what a great title. A title for a book, which is a business book called Sexy Little Numbers. I really like that. So what Sexy Little Numbers are all about is knowing the numbers that will grow your business, because as we all hear so often that numbers is the currency of business and numbers are what matter. But what matters about numbers, sure, it's all your financial numbers, your turnover and your profit and your cost of sale and all those, wonderful numbers that we all know and love so much, or at least our accountants do. But knowing how well you did last year in a set of accounts, and often by the time you get those accounts, were 18 months ago, is not really going to drive your business. What's going to drive your business are your current numbers, and probably even more importantly, your future numbers. What those numbers are what's going to drive your business. So the question is, what are the numbers that are going to drive your business? I can hear you asking me that right now. And the answer is the key sales and marketing numbers. We all know there's only two ways of growing a business. One is to reduce costs and the other is to increase sales. You've heard me say that probably 1,000 times. And you've also heard me say that you can reduce costs right now in your business, probably by 5%, 10%, maybe even 20%, who knows. But the real leverage, the real infinite amount of business growth comes from increasing sales. So the question is, how big do you want to be? That's an important number, isn't it? If you're turning over, 50 grand or 50 million, where do you want to be? Because that's a really important number. Because until and unless you know that, how do you know what numbers to measure and what good looks like? What are good numbers? If you want to go from £1 million to 50 million, then you need to know the numbers that you need to try to achieve and when you need to try to achieve those numbers. So those things are really, really important to you and your business. So which specific numbers am I looking at? Well, if you started at the top and looked at the big numbers, they're numbers like your profit and your turnover and your costs and so on and so forth. But underneath that, you've got your key sales and marketing numbers. So they're numbers like the number of sales that you make in a given period. Let's use month by example. So how many sales do you make in a month? How much profit do you make on each and every sale? What is the cost of the sale? How much does it cost you to make the sale to start with? And what about the lifetime value? Lifetime value of a client. How much is a client worth to you each time they come on board? So this is about how much do they spend, how long do they stay with you, and how many times in that period do they buy from you? And the key word here is obviously average. So what is your average lifetime value of a client? What is your average unit of sale? How many people buy from you? How often? And how much do they spend? Now, underneath that, we've got numbers like the number of inquiries that you get and your conversion ratio. Because if you're spending a load of money on marketing and, it's going great, you're getting loads of inquiries coming in, but actually you're really rubbish at following them up because you're so busy operationally doing the work, you never get the time to follow them up and you finish up following up a week or 2 weeks later. I know on Monday I made an inquiry and I'm recording this on Wednesday, and they've still not got back to me yet, despite me getting an email saying that somebody would follow up with me shortly. I'm still to hear from them. So, if that's your business, then that's probably costing you money. So, what are your number of inquiries and what is your conversion rate? And also, thinking about the future, how could you improve that conversion rate? Because if you could go from 40% conversion to 60%, then what have you just done? You've just grown your business by a whacking great big 50%. 50% growth in your business by a 20% improvement in conversion rate of lead to sale. So these are really important numbers, and I'm sure you're grasping that by now. What about where those leads come from? You know, you're probably spending money on different forms of marketing. You perhaps got a website and you do email marketing. You no doubt on social media these days, everybody is. Perhaps you're doing some LinkedIn and networking. You might be spending money going to exhibitions, etc., etc. And the question is then, if you're creating, 100 leads in a month, where are those leads coming from? And another really important question is, how could you do better than you're doing right now? Because if you're going to exhibitions and you're spending money and time and effort going to an exhibition,